get to the money. Gotta get to the money. Early morning, so you know that I'm on it. So you know that I'm on it. Gotta make sure that my family straight. Gotta make sure that the kids and me. Gotta make sure that the bills is paid. And then let's get to the money. Get to the money. Early morning, so you know that I'm on it. And gotta make sure that my family straight. Gotta make sure that the kids and they. Gotta make sure that the bills is paid. And then let's get to the money. Get to the money.
Welcome to another episode of Drinking After Dark, a podcast where we discuss random topics while having a few drinks. I'm your host, Darius, and as always, drink responsibly. And y'all make sure y'all follow Drinking After Dark podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And y'all make sure y'all like and subscribe to Drinking After Dark podcast YouTube channel. Tonight, y'all know what I'm drinking on. Actually, I'm drinking on something a little bit different tonight, okay? So pretty much I'm drinking on vodka and Sprite tonight, not my usual Dr. Pepper cream soda and Crown Royal vanilla. I'm trying some new things, so I'm going to try this out, see how I like it. Maybe I keep it, maybe not. And before we go any further, I got to give a huge shout out to my sponsor, Joe Shekinab and Shekinab.com. Go visit Shekinab.com for services, monthly updates, and contact information. Once again, visit Shekinab.com, promoting leadership and scholarship. So I hope everybody's having a great week. I know I am. So let's get right into it. If you're a football fan like me, we know we just had the wild card that kicked off last Saturday, ended on Monday. So before we get into it, man, I just want to say congratulations to the Cowboys, the Giants, the Jaguars, the Bengals, the Bills, and the 49ers for advancing to the next round. But we're going to go over these games, man, just get my feel on it and how I felt about the weekend and everything like that. So some of the games I pretty much kind of saw, pretty much knew the outcome, right? I knew the Bills was going to beat the Dolphins. Since we're going to talk about that, let's go and talk about it right now. The Bills and the Dolphins game was very exciting, okay? The Bills got out to a big lead, but the Dolphins fought back. They even took the lead at one point. But the Bills were just too much for the Miami Dolphins. And, it was a scare. It was a scare because, people thought it wasn't going to be a game, but the Miami Dolphins made it a game. And, but the Bills pulled it out. So I wasn't shocked about the outcome in that game. I could be honest with you, I wasn't even really shocked with the how competitive the game was. Right now, this is the playoffs. So, every game is pretty much going to be competitive to some degree. But that particular game didn't surprise me. Another game that definitely didn't surprise me, that, the 49ers and the Seahawks, I pretty much had the 49ers winning big in that particular game. I was right about that. I'm not going to go too much details about it. The Bengals and the Ravens, same thing. I had the Bengals pretty much pulling away. Even though it was competitive in the beginning, I know eventually the Bengals was going to win that game. The Giants and the Vikings. So let's talk about it. So the Giants and the Vikings game did not surprise me, not one bit. I actually picked the Giants to, I don't know, would we call it an upset? I wouldn't even necessarily call it an upset because I thought the Giants was going to beat the Vikings. Personally, that was just my personal opinion. They had a good year. I thought they were playing great football. And I felt like in this particular game, I felt like they could beat the Vikings in Minnesota, which they did. So the Giants, listen, it's going to be a tough outing. It's definitely going to be a tough outing, but we'll see. We'll see how this plays out. I don't know, man. Like some games you just kind of know, like, all right, this is going to be the upset, right? This is going to be the upset. And to me, this didn't even feel like an upset because I just felt like it could have went either way. So congratulations to the Giants for beating the Vikings. I didn't know which game I want to say for last, but I'm going to go ahead and just talk about it. We got to talk about we definitely have to talk about this game. Because this game pretty much, I'm going to take a drink real quick. This game, I don't know what to call it. I don't think I could say it was a choke job. And yes, I'm talking about the Chargers and the Jaguars. Before I get on the Chargers, congratulations to the Jaguars. You came back. You finished the game out right. You deserve to go on to the next round. Congratulations. That's all I can say right now. Congratulations. Now let's talk about the Chargers, because this is, to me, was more about the Chargers than the Jaguars. The Chargers were up 27-0. Trevor Lawrence had, when you're talking about a guy that should have been benched, like even after the third interception, he should have been benched. He wasn't. He threw 4 picks in the first half. 4. Not 1, not 2. He threw 4 picks in the first half. Giants are up. Not the Giants, I'm sorry, the Chargers. The Chargers up, 27-0. Before the Jaguars pretty much got their offense going, right? The Chargers, to me, their mistake was they prolonged the game by not running the football. You can't keep giving the team many chances, right? Especially when you throw the football, quick 3 and outs. You're not executing offensively. Definitely wasn't executing on special teams. We saw the missed field goal. But when you give a team, especially an offense that really started to get it going, the way you stop that is by controlling the clock yourself, which they didn't do, which allowed Trevor Lawrence, after he threw that first touchdown pass, he got into a little rhythm. But that second one, there's like, okay, they got some. There's still plenty of time left. We all know in football, it's not over until it's over, right? They had plenty of time left. I don't know what the Chargers was thinking. I don't know what the head coach was thinking. I mean, maybe you guys could tell me. I have no idea. But this particular game basically would cost you a job. Especially if you're a head coach, it will cost you a job. And let's not forget, he basically got his running back injured on the last game of the season. During the last game of the season, injured running back. You already secured your playoff berth. I'm not understanding, why would you risk this man getting hurt? Because we know when it comes to the playoffs, you're pretty much going to have a running game, right? What you do in the regular season is cool with all the passing and all of that. But we all know when it comes to the playoffs, that running game is so crucial to your success. And we saw what happened. We knew the Jaguars, and here's the thing, the Jaguars had to throw the football, right? They were as many points they were down. Yeah, they ran it a little bit, but they got rolling in the passing game. Trevor Lawrence was just, like I said, phenomenal in the second half. You down 27-0, and you come back and you beat a team that was up 27. You beat them 31-30. Somebody got to explain this to me. I don't know what it is about these coaches that's not coaching. We all know you plan for the game, but also when it comes to game time, there's in-game adjustments. When you up that big, this is why you got an offensive line. This is why you coach up your offensive line. This is why you got a running back. which you got injured, by the way, in week 18. You did all of that, and you allowed a team that you pretty much had beat. I mean, there was no way. They had no chance of even coming back, but they came back and they win. This, to me, was the biggest choke job since the Falcons in the Super Bowl a few years ago. Y'all remember? Falcons up 25-3. Middle of the third quarter, you up 25-3. Ain't no way the Patriots gonna come back and win that game. But they did. And want to know why? Because they kept throwing the football and stopping the clock. When you stop the clock and you're getting three and outs, it just give and the way it was going, you start seeing this defense start believing like, hey, we got something going now. We got something going now, right? It was a tale of two halves for both teams. Jaguars was playing terrible. Chargers was playing great. What happened in the second half? Chargers completely collapsed. Jaguars move on to the next round. You know, that's why I say I got to give credit where credit is due, right? I got to give credit where credit is due. But the coaching job was terrible. The execution offensively was terrible. And here's the thing. You got to figure out ways to keep that clock running. You got to figure out ways like, can we get first downs? Even if we get field goals, right? Yes, we know they missed a field goal in the second half. Pretty much that was the ball game. If you would have made that field goal, there's no way that the Jaguars will win. But you got to execute, right? Three phases of the game, you got to execute. Offense, defense, and special teams. They didn't do either in the second half is the reason why the Chargers lost. And I got to put that on the head coach first and foremost, and I got to put that on Justin Herbert. Y'all could disagree, but the collapse was there. Is the reason why they're on vacation right now, and the Jaguars are on to the next round. So shout out to the Jaguars for never stop playing. Just kept playing football, and their confidence and their beliefs start growing as the game went on, right? And I got a couple of friends and family members that are Jaguars fans, so I know they're happy. If you're a Chargers fan, I apologize. Well, I'm not going to apologize. You deserve that to happen to you, right? Like, I ain't feel bad to the Falcons. I ain't feel bad to the Atlanta Falcons when they collapsed in the Super Bowl. You had that game won, but you don't give a great talent multiple opportunities. You just don't do it. You keep the ball out their hands, you shorten the game, and that's what you do. I don't know what it is about these coaches, these players. At some point as a coach, you got to have common sense. Say, nope, we're going to run this ball. I don't care if it's 3 and out. We ain't gonna snap the ball to 1 second left on the play clock. We're gonna keep this clock rolling and rolling and rolling, and that's that. All right, so now let's talk about the Cowboys and the Buccaneers. Cowboy Nation, I know you guys are happy. You know, you guys beat the Buccaneers. Now, I will admit I was wrong about this game. I felt Tom Brady in the playoffs was going to carry them. I didn't see them going to the Super Bowl. Let's get that out the way. Matter of fact, I don't see either of these teams going to the Super Bowl, my opinion. But I feel like Tom Brady could have won this game. I was wrong. Dak Prescott looked amazing, right? He looked amazing. That defense was getting after Tampa Bay. I was going to call it like I see it. Here's the thing too, man. At some point, you could be in the game for so long to where you have to say to yourself, is it really time for me to walk away? Because I'm gonna call it. You got your offensive coordinator fired. You got Byron Leftwich fired, right? You got this man fired because if you're considered the GOAT of quarterbacks, right? I'm not gonna call you the greatest football player of all time. I'm gonna say you're the GOAT of all quarterbacks, which has been proven. There is no way that this offensive coordinator should have been fired when technically you got Tom Brady on that team. But if you really look at Tampa Bay's offense all year, it wasn't really, no, it really didn't look good. It didn't look good, and they're sitting at home. Tom Brady made some mistakes. You know, to me, the crucial mistake happened when he threw that interception in the end zone. They were moving that ball down the field. He made a crucial mistake. Instead of really just throwing it out the end zone, he kind of lobbed it up, hoping it would go out the end zone, and it didn't, and got the interception. That's when you seen the Cowboys march back, right? So that to me turned the whole game around. At that point, I kind of knew, like, yeah, the Cowboys are going to run away with this, which they did. They ran away with it. The defense, the offense. Now, if you saw the game like I did, the one blemish with this game, now it didn't hurt them this game, but you got to think when they go on further, if they're able to go on further, you playing against better teams. Those extra points, that was 4 extra points, right? And when you miss extra points, we're not talking about just a regular field goal, get 3 points. We're talking about an extra point after a touchdown. The kicker, I should know his name, but I don't know his name right now. But when you miss 4 extra points, that could, first off, it could ruin your confidence as a kicker. Now, I don't think they're going to bring in a new kicker. I think it's too late for that. But do I think he deserves another chance? Yeah. Let him redeem himself. You won the game. You pretty much won it easily. But hey, these extra points could hurt us. So we don't need miss extra points. We don't need those extra. We don't need you to miss those, because in a game that could be tight and those points matter, everything matters. Every little inch, every little point matters in the game. It could actually cost you. So, and if y'all remember a few seasons ago in the playoffs, it was the Bears and the Eagles in the playoffs, and it was in Chicago. The game was in Chicago. The field goal kicker missed 2 field goals, right? Which basically cost them their season. And these weren't extra points, but it was just field goals, cost them their season. He didn't have a job after that. They pretty much released him after that. So the pressure of being the field goal kicker is everything. Now, what is psyche going to be when it comes to the next game, when it's close and the pressure is on? How is he going to react? How is he going to come back from that? I personally think he's going to bounce back from that. I hope he does, because, you really don't want to see anybody fail, especially, cost your team a game because you didn't execute. But we'll see. We'll see how it happens. But it's going to be, this next round is going to be it's going to be really, really exciting, because now we get to see the Chiefs back in it. We're going to see the Eagles back in. We're going to see how they're going to look. Me personally, if I had to, I pretty much, as the season went on and when everything was all said and done, to me, the 2 top teams that's going to be in the Super Bowl is going to be the Chiefs. It's going to be the 49ers. That's just my personal opinion. I don't see. First off, I don't see anybody in the AFC beating the Chiefs. Even though I like the Bills, the way they looked against Miami, it kind of maybe that kind of took Miami for granted, but I don't see them beating the Chiefs, stuff like that. I see the Chiefs pretty much going to the Super Bowl. But I see the 49ers, man. The 49ers look great. When I seen them play, I said, okay, this is probably the team that's going to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. So I'm not going to be shocked by it, but I do know this. I know this that this weekend we're pretty much going to have the Jaguars and Chiefs. I'm pretty much going to give y'all my predictions right now. Okay, so this weekend you have the Jaguars and Chiefs. Obviously, I have the Chiefs in that game. We have the Bengals and the Bills. That's going to be a hard one. That one, that's tough. That is really tough to decide. I think I'm gonna go with Buffalo because they're playing in Buffalo. If it was the other way around, I would have picked Cincinnati, but I think Buffalo is going to take that game, but it's going to be a real close game, in my opinion. I won't be shocked if the Bengals win that game. It's just very, very, I would say 51% to 49% probability. So that's how close it is for me. The Giants and the Eagles. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to pick the Giants in this game. I think their confidence is shooting through the roof. This is that team I thought was going to be dangerous coming to the playoffs, and they have already proven it. So this is going to be my upset pick of the weekend because you pretty much got to have at least one just to pick one. This will be it. It'll be the Giants and the Eagles. The Giants, I have them winning this game. And last but not least, the Cowboys and the 49ers. The game, look, I got the 49ers. I think they're a more complete team than the Cowboys. So I just think that the 49ers will pretty much take care of that game. So those are my predictions right now. So if you have, if you want to disagree, so be it. Go ahead, disagree. But I know for sure I got the Jaguars. Like I said, I'm really on the fence between the Bills and the Bengals. I'm gonna pick the Bills, but if the Bengals win, listen. Like I said, it's a toss-up. It's really a coin flip in that game, in my opinion. But I definitely have the Giants beating the Eagles, and I also have the 49ers beating the Cowboys. And then, we'll go on from there, right? But I'm not going to make any other predictions right now. But that is my predictions for this weekend, the games this weekend. So we'll see. We'll see. It's playoff time. I know if you're a football fan like me, this is the time of the year we're like, okay, everything's going to get serious. Even though my Steelers didn't make it, they still finished with a winning record. Mike Tomlin, I mean, all respect to him, never had a losing season in his career. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. But I'm excited. I'm going to watch these games, man. I know you guys are going to watch it too. So put on your jerseys, man. Enjoy the weekend and enjoy and just cheer for your teams, man. Win or lose, man, you still cheer for your teams, man, because you can't be upset. Oh, well, yeah, you can't be upset if you lose. I take that back. But we all know it's really hard to win in the NFL. So just take it how you can take it, and then just go from there. And you never know what can happen. Like they said, was it any given Sunday? In this case, you have any given Saturday and any given Sunday. So you never know what can happen. But I know we all looking forward to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and watch these games, man. Maybe I might watch it with some friends or whatever. And we're just gonna have a good time. And then next week I'll come back and I'll give more of my predictions and my reaction to this weekend. So stay tuned for that. Before I get out of here, I just want to let y'all know, man, please be sure to follow Drinking After Dark Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Also, man, let's run these likes up and subscribe to the channel, Drinking After Dark Podcast. Also, man, you can catch the podcast on right here on YouTube. You can catch it on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. New episodes out every Friday on those platforms. So stay tuned to that. I will bring on more guests as time go on. But until next time, I'm your boy Darius from Drinking After Dark Podcast, and I'm out. Peace.
Gotta get to the money. Gotta get to the money. Early morning, so you know that I'm on it. So you know that I'm on it. Gotta make sure that my family straight. Gotta make sure that the kids and me. Gotta make sure that the bills is paid. And then let's get to the money. Get to the money. Early morning, so you know that I'm on it. And gotta make sure that my family straight. Gotta make sure that the kids and they. Gotta make sure that the bills is paid. And then let's get to the money. Get to the money.